Hello everybody, so welcome to our next transformation video. This one's going to be all about rotations. There's going to be 2 days of rotations. Today's rotations, we're going to be focusing on rotations that are only clockwise. Okay, materials that you will need for today is obviously your graph paper. Make sure you copy down, let me just move this one a little bit down. Copy this problem down on your graph paper as well, and this is where we're going to take notes. What I did is I just folded up my graph paper in half. One, do it again, twice. So I folded it up twice so I could save graph paper as well. So this is where we're going to be taking our notes. So we have your graph paper that you need, obviously your pencil and And in order for us to do the rotations is you do need another graph paper. I do suggest you get another graph paper. Fold it in half twice the same way, just to save graph paper. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why we're going to need the second one in a second. So let's take our basic notes for rotations. Okay, so rotations, we spend usually 2 days on it. Rotation is your third transformation. Okay, so rotation is a form of transformation. We already learned 2 other transformations. We already learned your translations and reflections. So rotations, okay, so rotation, what it does is a rotation gets a pre-image and turns it. Okay, so gets a pre-image and turns to get the image. Okay, so in rotation, we are going to turn. Okay, we're going to turn either clockwise, which is going to the right, or we might turn counterclockwise. For today's video, we're just going to be turning clockwise. Again, the most important word here, it is turn. Okay, so turn is the most important word. Same thing like the other transformations. When you do a rotation, the image and the pre-image will be congruent and similar. Okay, so when you do a rotation, the image and the pre-image will be congruent and similar. There are 4 types of rotations that you need to remember. Okay, so the first type of rotation is 90 degrees. So 90 degrees, we always turn the paper. So turn paper once. So we turn the paper 1 time. And then I'm going to draw a little arrow that it goes something like this. Right now, excuse my dogs are barking. Right now, just ignore the way the arrow is pointing. I will explain that more in detail in a couple of minutes, okay? The next transformation that we are going to be learning, or rotation, is 180 degrees, where you're going to turn your paper. You guessed it, we're going to turn the paper twice. And then the arrow is actually going to look like that, pointing down. Number 3 is going to be a rotation of 270 degrees, which we turn our paper 3 times. And the arrow is going to look like this. Again, I will explain what the arrow, all of that good stuff is in a couple of minutes. And our final rotation is a 360, is you're going to turn your paper 4 times, which will be an arrow that's looking like that. Okay, so what I want you to do is pause this video, go ahead and make sure you copy those notes onto your paper. Okay, so let's go ahead and start doing our first problem. Copy this problem right on your graph paper. If you need to pause the video, go ahead and pause it so you're able to copy it down. Okay, so when we're doing a rotation, you notice that we have these notes right here with the arrows. You're probably thinking, what the heck are these arrows all about? I usually use arrows to show me or how, like, the direction of the rotation. Okay, because I'm not a very visual learner, so I need to like do some little strategies here and there to show me how I'm turning this paper. So what I usually do is I draw an arrow at the top like so, sticking up. Okay, so I draw an arrow sticking up. You could also do it in the middle. Sometimes I do it in the middle, but I just do it on the top just so that it doesn't bother me. So it says rotate 100 degrees about the origin. So when they ever say about the origin, obviously they mean it to the center. And if they don't say anything explicitly, they mean clockwise. So what you need to remember is that clockwise, you turn your paper to the right. Okay, that's what clockwise means. You're going to turn your paper to the right. Okay, there's 4 ways of turning your paper: 90 degrees, 180, 270, and 360. 90 degrees is turn your paper 1 time. Turn your paper 1 time so that this arrow looks like this. So if I turn it, there it is. It matches. This is a 90-degree rotation. Now we're going to rotate this paper 180 degrees. You have to turn your paper twice so that this top arrow looks facing down. So if I turn it, 1 time is 90, a second time is 180 because that arrow's pointing downwards. A 270-degree rotation is turn your paper 3 times so that the arrow's looking to the left. So it's 90 degrees, 180 degrees, and 70 degrees. There you go. Okay, back to the beginning. And then the 360s, turn your paper 4 times so that it's sticking up. Honestly, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's already 360, okay? So that's the reason why I draw this arrow. This arrow really helps me a lot with knowing my rotations, okay? Now, there's different ways of teaching rotations, okay? I'm going to show you, honestly, the fastest way possible and easy to understand of how to do a rotation. So what we do first is we grab this picture. There's a reason why you got your other graph paper. So you're going to grab your other graph paper, and we're literally just going to copy this shape, this exact same shape onto here, okay? So we're going to copy the shape. So for letter A, it's 3 to the right, 1 up, 1, 2, 3, 1 up. Again, I'm just copying the shape exactly the way it looks here. For letter B, it's 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 7, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The only bad part, I guess, about this method is it might be a little bit time consuming, but it's very easy. For letter C, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1. There it is. Once again, the only thing I did is I just copied the pre-image on a separate graph paper, and I'm going to show you why I did that. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab make sure to draw my arrow sticking up like this. Okay, and the problem is asking me to rotate notice, these are congruent, they're the same, I just copied it. Rotate 180 degrees about the origin. So 180 degrees means turn your paper twice so the arrow's sticking down. So I'm going to turn my paper, that new one that I just grabbed, twice. And we're going to go to the right. Let me move the other one right here. So we have 1 time is 90 degrees. A second time is 180 degrees. This is your image. And the only thing you do, ladies and gentlemen, is you just grab your paper. I just folded it. Copy this here, and you're done. That's it. You're just going to copy this here. So if I start at the origin, I go 1, 2, 3 to the left, 1 down. Okay. 1, 2, 3 to the left, 1 down. This is going to be my A prime. Now I'm going to do the B. 3 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down. 3 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down. This is my B prime. And then letter C, it's 8 to the left and 1 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1 down. My paper I barely got. So that's going to be your C prime. So I'm going to go ahead and connect the dots. There it is. Okay. And make sure you label it. I know that this one right here is my pre-image. And I know this one down here is going to be my image. And ladies and gentlemen, you're done. That's a rotation 180 degrees. these two are congruent and similar. Just because you turned it, they're still congruent and similar. Okay? That's why we use a separate sheet of paper to help us with the rotation. So go ahead and let's do this one right here. Copy this problem onto your notes. Hopefully you already copied this problem. So once again, I'm just going to grab this piece of paper right here, and I'm going to trace this shape into here first before I even start the rotation. So I'm just going to trace it. So you're going to use your second graph paper to trace this shape all over again. Letter A is 2 to the right and 2 down. 2 to the right, 2 down. This is A. This is my pre-image. I'm just copying this. This is 5, 2. 5, 2, and 5 to the right, 2 down. Letter C is 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Once again, I'm just copying the shape because I'm going to move this paper to figure out what the new image is going to look like. Okay, so I'm going to connect the dots. There it is. Again, notice it's the exact same problem. I'm just going to draw my little arrow right here, telling me the way we're going to rotate. Again, this is my pre-image. I didn't really do anything fancy. Now the problem is telling you to rotate 90 degrees clockwise. Once again, the word clockwise means move to the right, and 90 degrees says move your paper only one time so that this arrow looks like this. So we're going to grab this paper right here, the one we just copied, and we're going to move it one time to the right so that these arrows match. So there it is, 90 degrees. And here, this one right here is your image, ladies and gentlemen. The only thing you do is grab this and copy it there, and you're done. Okay? So I'm just, once again, I'm gonna grab this one and put it here. So to get A, I go 2 to the left and 2 down, 2 to the left and 2 down. That's my A prime. 2 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 to the left, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can already see that it might not fit on my paper. This is where I'm noticing. Hopefully it does. Letter C, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it didn't fit just because of the length of the paper. So I'm just going to go ahead and label it right here. I know it's not the correct area. I know I had to go 9 to the left and 2 down. Let's just assume that it landed here, okay? And this is going to be C prime. Once again, let's assume that it's 9 to the left, okay? Same thing here, 9, and I have to go 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's right here. Again, we're just assuming that that represents 9. Okay, there's your prime. Okay, the reason why you could barely see it is because there's a kind of like a plastic right here. There it is. Once again, you could barely see. There we go. There's a plastic that's covering the side. So we're going to label them. This is going to be your pre-image. And then this one will be your image. Once again, these are congruent and similar. The only thing I did was I just grabbed this shape and I rotated 90 degrees. Let's go ahead and do our last example. Okay, we're going to rotate this shape 270 degrees clockwise about the origin. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my paper once again. And I'm going to just trace this shape into this paper. So now you're pretty much tracing the shape into your graph paper. Letter A, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is my A prime. B, it's 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Prime. C prime. And we have our D prime. Whoops. I don't know why I'm labeling them prime. I'm sorry. These should not have prime. These are just your regular, that's your regular image. Sorry. Okay. There it is. Here we go. I draw my arrow. That's going to guide me. The problem is asking me 270 degrees clockwise about the origin. 270 means turn your paper 3 times so that this arrow looks like that. So we're going to do 1, that's 90. 2 is 180. 3 is 270 degrees. So there you go. We just grab this shape and draw it here. Okay, so letters, I'm just going to go to C, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4 down. And that's going to be your C prime. Letter B, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 to the left, 2 down. That's your B prime. Letter A, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's kind of moving over here to the other problem. And then letter D, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6. And there it is. We're going to go ahead and now we're allowed to connect these. There you go. Label them. I know that this is my pre-image. And I know this is my image. Whoop, you can barely see it. Okay, and once again, I know that these two shapes are congruent and similar. The only thing I did, as you notice, is I just moved it. I rotated and it's the same shape. So this is the way you do a rotation clockwise about the origin. And that's it for this video.